They couldn't be edited. They were simply too hard to use, and so the industry did not adopt them. Less than a year after my original video came out, nerfs were abandoned because they had been replaced with something better. Enter Gaussian splats. And yes, it's pronounced Gaussian, not Gaussian. I'm not mispronouncing it just to be funny this time. Since then, both Sam and Nico have undertaken massive projects using Gaussian splats. This infinite hallway, splat. This matrix bullet time rooftop, splat. Literally everything in this video that is not a person, all splats. It's ridiculous. Gaussian splats are starting to take over, and I haven't even really done anything with them yet. I feel like I was ahead of the curve with nerfs, but since then, I feel like I'm falling behind. That ends today, because what the heck even is a Gaussian splat? On a fundamental level, there's not really much difference between splats, nerfs, and traditional photo scans because they're each a form of 3D capture. Let's say you wanted to scan this apple here. You start by capturing a series of overlapping photos of the apple from as many different viewpoints as you can get. Then you need to figure out where those pictures were taken in 3D space. And this is all a process called structure from motion. At the same time that it's solving the camera positions, it's also solving which pixels are the same between different images. And then it triangulates where they are too. This creates a cloud of floating pixels that roughly represent the layout of your scene. Now with photo scanning, you would actually turn this point cloud into a 3D model. 3 points create a plane, connected planes give you a mesh, project the photos onto that mesh to get a textured 3D model. Congrats, you've now replicated an object. However, it doesn't look real out of the box. Notice how the apple is the same shade of red no matter what angle I view it from. That's not how light works. In reality, light is view dependent. It depends on your view. We should be seeing a slightly different shade of red depending on where we're viewing it from, because you're not actually seeing the apple, you're seeing the light that has bounced off of the apple. And like a game of billiards, the angle of that light really does matter. Now, if I manually clean up the mesh, set up the shaders, and light it properly, I can then simulate the behavior of light. That's called rendering. But what if I didn't have to simulate the light? And that is where radiance fields come in. Instead of capturing the shape of an object, it's actually capturing the radiance, or how much light is traveling in a certain direction from a specific point. And that can be very different depending on which direction and which point you're looking at. In other words, radiance fields solve the view dependency problem, and it's what makes them so realistic. Now, nerfs and Gaussian splats are both radiance fields, so they're actually pretty similar in what they do, but how they do it is extremely different. Nerfs use a neural network to learn the radiance of a scene, hence neural radiance field. It's basically an extremely complicated math function. You tell it which viewpoint you want to see, and it'll crunch some numbers and then render out that viewpoint. It is not a 3D scene. It's a formula. That's an important distinction because that's why it's so slow.